The Oklahoma Sooners were shocked today to find out that one of their best, if not their best, offensive linemen have hit the transfer portal. And this was in a completely shocking turn of events for Oklahoma. And it leaves a lot of Oklahoma fans asking a simple question. Is Bill Beatenbow still the guy for the job? Because he didn't live up to expectations for the 2024 class from the fans. And now he loses one of our young shining stars into the portal. We got to talk about it. We got to review the facts and understand what we know. And then we're going to theorize potentially where Cayden Green will land. But if you guys have not already, make sure you do one thing for me. Join the discussion and let me know your guys' thoughts. Where were you when this news dropped, and what was your initial reaction? Because for me, it completely took me completely out of blue. I did not expect this. I don't think anybody expected this, and it definitely hurts your offensive line going into the SEC. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for tuning into the PG Show, where we talk about all things college football. Today, we're going to be talking about Cayden Green hitting the transfer portal from the University of Oklahoma. And we got to look at where this guy is potentially going to land, because you talk about some of the most shocking transfer portal additions for Oklahoma. Cayden Green might be it, because although we were shocked about Hollywood Smothers a little bit, there was talk about Hollywood Smothers hitting the portal. There wasn't any talk about Cayden Green hitting the portal. And so you look at a young rising prospect among college football, especially on the offensive line, a guy that was ranked number 98th nationally in the 247 composite rankings. On3 had him at number 30, almost a 5-star. So you look at this and say, how does Oklahoma recover from this? Because you lost Tyler Guyton, Andrew Rame, Walter Rouse, and McCabe Matower, all to the NFL. Not only that, but you're losing Caleb Schaefer. And then you lost Nate Anderson to the portal, Savion Byrd to the portal. This offensive line has been absolutely gutted. And if you're an Oklahoma fan, I understand why this is so concerning and why you guys would simply ask the question about Bill Beatenbow. You look at the 2023 class, and he performed with Cayden Green, but then outside of that, not a lot of people were impressed, because you got Joshua Bates, one of the best centers in that class, if not the best center. You got Logan Howland, who was a 3-star prospect out of Princeton, New Jersey, who has just an absolute ton of upside, guys. And then Heath Ozida. I mean, come on. He was 6'6", 300 pounds coming out of high school. Who doesn't want Heath? And then in 2024, he goes out here and he lands a guy like Eugene Brooks, who's worked himself into the top 176th player in the country. You have guys like Josh Isosa here out of Edmond, Santa Fe. Isaiah Autry out of Fulton, Mississippi. You got Daniel Akankumi from across the pond. Now, you don't get guys like Nate Anderson's brother. You don't get guys like Bennett Warren. You don't get who was that guy that committed to A&M at LSU now? Can't think of him off the top of my head. Now, you're still in the running for Eddie Pierre-Louis, but you don't land Graham Bricks. People have the questions. Again, completely understandable. Now, why did Cayden Green hit the transfer portal? Well, there's a couple things that have hit my plate that we just got to talk about. And the first one is Mizzou. Obviously, Cayden Green has former teammates that are either being recruited by Mizzou or that are currently playing at Mizzou that potentially could be recruiting him there, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be coaches to be tampering, which, to be honest, if it's players trying to get a player that's at another school to their school, is that really tampering? Because it's the players, right? Players talk regardless whether they're on the same team or not. So that could be part of it, right? Is there's former players that are currently on Mizzou, and then guys that are being recruited by Mizzou that are trying to get him there. That's an aspect of this we got to look at. Then the other one that you kind of heard floated around that this is the only other one that makes sense, but I think is unlikely, but is that maybe he had a falling out with Bill Beanbo, which it doesn't seem likely that that would be the case. I know that Cayden Green came out of high school as the number one guard in the country. Maybe he wanted to play, maybe he was being played at tackle, didn't want to play guard. I don't know. I don't know what I think that theory is a little far out there. Now, the other one that I think is way out there is that Colorado came in with the bag, because Colorado has done things on the offensive line in terms of transfer portal recruiting that have turned the tides against a lot of teams. But I don't think Phil Loadholt is really moving the scene for Colorado that much on the offensive line. People, I think, are putting a little too much stock into that. They landed Jordan Seaton because Coach Prime and Jordan Seaton had developed a really good relationship. And then outside of that, Coach Prime is probably emphasizing the need for somebody to come in and be able to be a starter right away for Colorado. Playing in the Big 12, protecting his son, who just got hurt this season, had a pretty severe injury. So, yeah, but I'm not putting a bunch of stock that Coach Prime in Colorado just went out there and dropped a whole bag. Now, who are the teams you got to watch out for in the transfer portal if it's Cayden Green? Obviously, the first one's Mizzou, right? From Lee Summit, Missouri. Missouri is going to be the team to watch. Additionally, this is a team that I haven't heard anybody throw out yet, but would not be shocked to see them go after him. Nebraska. Nebraska got Grant Bricks. They're trending to land not only Kyle McCord out of the transfer portal, but Dylan Raiola in the 2024 recruiting class, which if you guys go back and watch my video from that a couple months ago, y'all will know that when he committed to Georgia, I said that commitment ain't sticking. He's going to be in Nebraska's class. So if that ends up happening, you guys can put that credit right here. So if you get those two quarterbacks, they're going to be looking to up their offensive line, and Raiola is a great offensive an offensive line coach. So Nebraska, I think, is definitely a school to watch. Additionally, outside of Nebraska, Mizzou, I guess we can throw Colorado in there just because they've got a former OU analyst. But again, I don't think that moves the needle that much. And I feel like Colorado's got the pony up the bag quite a bit for a guy like Cayden Green. And I'm not sure they're going to compete with the likes of my next school and my fourth school, Oregon. Dylan Gabriel's out there. There could be potential that they knew that they had a hole out there and Dylan Gabriel could have recruited him. So, and then obviously the fifth school that I'm going to look at, LSU. LSU would be my fifth school that if you're looking at a team that could come in, pony up a bag, and try to steal Cayden Green, those are going to be my five schools. Mizzou, Nebraska, LSU, Oregon, and Colorado. So I want to hear what y'all's thoughts are, because this was a shocking turn of developments. It was a huge loss in the transfer portal. But here's the deal. We're going to calm down. Everything's going to be fine. In Bill Beatenbow, we trust. In Brent Venables, we trust. So guys, if you have not already, hit that like and the subscribe button. Join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. And YouTube wants you guys to watch one of these two videos. So make sure you tune into one of those.